Good morning, students. This is Jayashree Madam. I'll be taking up some introductory class for you regarding optional English first semester syllabus. Right? So let us have a look at the romantic age part. I have already sent you the syllabus copy, right? Like you have a background part, then you have critical concepts, then novel, Northanger Abbey, then you have the poetry part. So right now I will be dealing with the romantic age in general, okay? So that is your syllabus, early romantic literature. Fine. Before coming to romantic age, let us see the ages of English literature. What do you mean by ages? Ages refers to period. 1900 to 1950, 2000 to 2020, like that. So normally to study English literature, like in order to make studying simpler, literary people, those who write literature history books, no, they have devised English into several stages: Old English, Middle English, Renaissance, Shakespearean age, 17th century, 18th century, Romantic literature, 19th century, Victorian age, modern age, like that. See, in Kannada you studied, no? Navodaya Kala, Navya, old Halegannada, Hosagannada, Nadugannada and all, no? Same thing. It's very simple basically, right? See, old English. See, by old English you refer to the very early English. Actually in England there were two types of people: Angles and Saxons. If you go in early history, it is even more deeper. There were tribals, original tribals, Welsh, Celts, then there were conquerors. See, English people had traveled all over the world to conquer. In the beginning, England was invaded by people such as Vikings, Danes, like that. Welsh and the Celtic people were the original people of England. Anyway, so then there were many kings. The King Alfred was there, so he sort of modified English. Anyway, old English is there. After that you have in British history, you will study it. As of now it is not so much important. Middle English is there. Now English kept on adding many words. For example, when Roman invention was there, Roman words were added, like that. So otherwise also English as an imperial language, it has acquired many words from the other countries. So even Indian words such as jungle, mantra, fashion, guru, there is even a word called chutnification of English, like that. So anyway, Middle English was there. Next you have, what do you mean by what do you call Renaissance? English Renaissance. So normally English Renaissance refers to the glory of English literature. So I hope you know about Renaissance, no? History Renaissance, like Reformation and Renaissance. So by Renaissance you refer to a special focus on human beings. Earlier Bible theme, epics and all were given importance. Renaissance gave importance to human forms, human interests and all. That is the difference between early literature and Renaissance literature. Almost in the same period, that is after the fall of Constantinople, 1453, then 15th and 16th literature, 16th century literature. In 16th century you have Shakespeare. So they are more or less same period, okay? Shakespearean period, 1540 onwards till Queen 1603. So Shakespearean or Elizabethan age. Shakespeare lived at the time of Queen Elizabeth. It was a very prosperous period in the history of English literature. Shakespearean dramas you might have studied in simple forms: Merchant of Venice, great tragedies, Othello, Hamlet, King Lear, Macbeth, four great tragedies. And see, overall he has written 154 sonnets and 37 dramas and 2 long plays, long poems, like that. So Shakespeare, some most of his works have become quotations even. To be or not to be, that is the question. Neither a borrower nor a lender be. In fact, you are very much fortunate to study English literature. Classical English literature. See why? Because even Kannada literature was heavily influenced by the theories of English literature. So even Kuvempu was inspired by romantic literature. He was inspired by Robert, K.S. Narasimha Swami was influenced by Robert Burns, another English poet, like that. Next you have 17th century. See now, no, every age people keep changing. See, your mother's period thinking will be one thing and you will be thinking another thing. Your future generation will think another way. Your grandmother's generation thought in one way. So even within 100 years, every 20 years, in fact nowadays it is even quick, 10 years and all, the way people think keeps changing. So 17th century the focus was more on science. Next year you will have, okay, 17th century John Donne, metaphysical poets, like that. See, you can say, so transition. Earlier there were kings and all, Shakespeare time, all this. Now also there are kings, actually queen, but now democracy. Even though they are kings, they do not have parliamentary power. It is parliament which controls, but they want kings. English people are very much fond of having royalty. Or 18th century was there. 18th century was characterized by so much of court life, silly, even shallow city life and all. Next you have 19th century. You will study it next year. Charles Dickens, evils of industrialization, all this. Before that, around 1789, France, French Revolution time and all. So you have a romantic literature. See, after 18th century. 18th century is also referred to as Augustan age literature. So there were people who wrote many dramas at that time. 18th century is very much famous for its dramas, and then novel also began during that time. Now next you have romantic literature, which you are about to study now. See, now romantic literature doesn't mean romance, okay, as in our poems and films and all. Romantic literature refers to something concerned with the eye. See, as you know, earlier the focus was on either kings, history, such things, or God, Bible. Romantic literature paid importance to the subjective experience. Subjective means one. See, for example, Shelley writing about I fall on the thorns of life, I bleed. Or Wordsworth saying, you might have studied Daffodil's poem, I suppose. I wandered lonely as a cloud, such things. Next you have 19th century, Charles Dickens novels, realism. Next you have Victorian age. See, Victorian age refers to the age of Queen Victoria. Even Victorian age was a very nice period. England had become a superpower by that time. Imperial expansion. Victorian and England, we were struggling for independence. 1940, 1940, no, not 1940, prior to 1900. India was under the British rule more than 1 century. No? So now modern age. By modern age, you refer to 1900 onwards. Fine. So all in all, from Old English up to modern age, 1900 to 1945 is referred to as they are referred to as ages in history of English literature. Now we are in postmodern age, 1945 onwards. we are supposed to be postmodern. By postmodern, you refer to the internet boom, hyper realism it is called. So all in all, it's a very interesting study, okay? The study of English literature. You will start thinking in global terms, thinking in various introspective manner like that. So here there is a picture of Shakespeare. See, this is 18th century literature, court life. See, I hope you see some English dramas and movies or read novels. Please start to do that, okay? Harry Potter and all you must be watching, I suppose. Yeah, so here this is romantic era in British literature. See, by romantic literature, you refer to a focus on nature and the person. See, by nature, you mean two natures. One is external nature. See, lake, rivers, trees. Wordsworth especially was very much fond of nature. He believed that nature is God, and he also believed that nature has the power to cure us. See, suppose you are very upset, go to a riverside or look at the sky or look at a flower. It will calm you down. No? So Wordsworth believed in the power of nature. You will study his poems, no? Tintern Abbey lines, all this. So you will know that. And Coleridge believed in supernatural. Supernatural means ghost, horrors, all this. So that also is nature only, no? Supernatural. So actually they try to introduce something of the emotions and feelings. See, Romanticism was a reaction against the earlier 18th century literature, also referred to as a neoclassical age. So all in all, romantic literature focuses more on nature, inner nature and external nature. In the next class, we will discuss romantic literature in more detail, okay? It is very important for your syllabus. See here, these two people, William Wordsworth and Coleridge, they are the precursors of romanticism. I mean, pioneers of romantic age in the history of English literature. See, first one is Wordsworth and the other one is Coleridge. Fine. So this is your introductory part. I hope you have understood the significance of romantic age, the syllabus which you are going to study. It's a wonderful syllabus which you have this year. Next you have the novel by Jane Austen, poetry part. It's beautiful. Fine. Good luck.